Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Beaker Tarot. My name is Alan. Happy 25th of April. So, yeah, it's about 11 o'clock in the morning. So, yeah, plodding along. So, just with the 25th of April, before I go any further, thank you for the subscriptions and for everybody that's made their really wonderful comments and all the kindness that I am receiving. Thank you so much, guys. I really, really do appreciate it. So that's yeah, very, very much appreciated. So kudos and kindness, guys. Yeah, so thank you very much, and I hope that you guys are doing well. I hope that you had a good Easter and everything is hunky dory for you guys. Though I know that there's a lot going on, still a lot going on, and I think there will be a lot going on for some time. Okay, well, very quickly. So just something quickly about Australia. So the 25th of April is a day here that we call Anzac Day. So any Aussies or Kiwis or Kiwis as New Zealanders that are watching the program will know about this. So basically, Anzac Day, it stands for the Australian New Zealand Army Corps. And basically, it's where Australia, New Zealand, and Tonga celebrate Anzac Day. And basically, it's where we remember our veterans that fought in all the wars. And it goes back to Gallipoli in 1915. So Gallipoli is in Turkey. And what happened was that there was a landing there, and it was a very, very, very steep cliff up the peninsula. And a lot of Australians and everybody there kind of got, unalived. I guess is probably the nicest way to say it. So basically, we have, and then it continued forward from there. So we have parades, and we remember Vietnam, and we remember Iraq, and we remember every war that we've followed the US into, and there have been a few of them. Just saying. I better say this to folks while I'm there. Entertainment only YouTube. So in a way, that's one of the things that it kind of sucks about the way that the current US administration is treating us because we've been all friends. And once again, YouTube and anybody watching, I'm not criticizing the people here. I'm criticizing the administration. So nothing against you guys. I'm criticizing the administration. And I use the word administration loosely while I'm there. But that's a big difference. Okay. So, like I said, not about you guys, it's about the administration. So, but basically, we have basically followed, I think, blindly in some things. Or the into the war. I remember protesting against the war in Iraq. Actually, I think it was about 2002 or 2003. We shut down the city. There was a couple of million of us, or at least a million of us in the city, all protesting against the war. So it's good to protest, as I've said before. Yeah. So basically, we have Anzac Day memorials. We have dawn services, and there's marches that go through the city. So no doubt there'll be marches today, and there'll be lots of war memorials. And I think Libby went to a war memorial this morning. I think she said she was going to do that. So hi Libby, if you're watching. Yeah. So basically that's what was going on with regards to all of that. And second thing, happy birthday, Bjorn. So Bjorn from ABBA is 80 years old today. So good on him. Good on him. All right. A few things I wanted to talk about today. The first one is Rachel Maddow. So she, as you know, she has a program on MSNBC. And what's happening is she's stepping down from that program for the time being. Well, she's not stepping down, but she's only going to be doing weekly appearances. So what's happening, I think it's from May the 6th. Jen Paskey, forgive me if I've said that incorrectly. So she was your press secretary for the Dems, yeah? So she's stepping in to fill in for MSNBC as Rachel Maddow will be returning to a weekly schedule from May the 6th. And as I said, Jen Paskey was the White House press secretary for the Dems. So in effect, Rachel Maddow, has now written a new book called Prequel, An American Fight Against Fascism. And she is going out on a book tour. So she's going to be in Boston on May the 7th, Long Island on May the 9th, Portland, Maine on May the 10th, which I believe is sold out, Miami in Florida on May the 8th, which is sold out, and I believe in St. Louis in Missouri on May the 31st. So that is sold out. So yeah, I just thought I'd just have a quick look at Rachel because she does a great job, and it must just be like really pardon me guys while I just wipe my eyes. It must just be really exhausting to be her because she's just such a voice of reason and such a voice of sanity in such a period of craziness. And I just want to just tap in with her and just see how she's going and just see how the book's going and just a basic look at Rachel Maddow, and then we'll talk about a few other things after that. All right, guys, come on down as we do this all again. Come on down. All right, Spirit. Rachel Maddow, how are you going? Rachel Maddow, incredibly brave person, tells you to. Rachel Maddow, how are you going? Rachel Maddow, how are you going? Seven of Pentacles, Page of Cups. That's a surprise message. Moon, yeah. King of Cups, Four of Wands. All right, guys, come on up. Okay, folks, so she's okay, which is good. First card that come up is a Seven of Pentacles. So I think this is about her book, and I think she's just reviewing things right now. I think she's looking at a time with MSNBC and thinking about the future and where to go to from here. And I think this book tour and writing this book just might be the beginning of something new for her. It's almost like she's looked at her time at MSNBC, and I kind of get the impression that she's wanting something else. I could be wrong. And so that was a surprise message with the Page of Cups. So that was a surprise message about that she's cutting back her time with MSNBC and she's going to go on the book tour because I think that there's with the moon card, I think there's a lot of murky energy around her, and I'll get to that later because that's coming out late. That's coming out, pardon me, uh, in the base of the deck. So I'll get to that, and I'll be honest about what I think about that. But she's keeping herself above water, and I do think that doing the job that she's done, it requires a lot of inner strength to keep all those emotions when you're just talking constantly about all the crap that's going on. And once again, YouTube, I better point this out again because I'm getting a bit political here. Entertainment only YouTube. Just a humble tarot reader from Australia. That's all I am. But I do think that she also misses Joe Biden and she misses the Democrats being in control or in running the presidency, running the country. But she's keeping herself above the water, which is good. And I think that, as I said, it's a very, very emotional time for her, but she's keeping it together. But I do think also too that there's a lot of murky energy around her as well with the moon because she's spending a lot of time criticizing the administration, and I think rightly so. But all she's wanting is that she's wanting to have some kind of stability, and she's just wanting, with the Four of Wands, she's just wanting stability in the White House. You know, that's all that she's after. She's after a stable government and she's after a stable way forward. You know, she just wants to get on with celebrating the country, not all this craziness that's going on right now. But unfortunately, you know who wants to give her a tower moment. And I think there might be some scheming, some hidden agenda stuff going on behind the scenes. Big cards, guys, with regards to the government. So I do think that she's okay, but I do think that behind the scenes, yeah, I'm just going to name it. There's 47 with all his money sitting on his throne, just looking at her with venom. and wanting to do something to stop her. But I mean, he does that with everybody that speaks out. That's not just singled out to Rachel, but he does that to everybody. If you are, and I guess that's probably the thing with fascism, isn't it? It's almost like you have no rights to an opinion now. Well, you do have the rights to an opinion, but if you are in the public arena like these people are, you're going to be classified as a target. And that with the high priestess, there's no end to the murkiness of the current administration, to what they want to dig up. You know, because they can easily say with a Hierophant, you are an enemy of the government, and that's just out of the fascist playbook, isn't it? That's what they say. Um, if you're considered an enemy of the state, we can go for you. I'm not going to leave it there, guys. I'm going to have a bit more of a look at Rachel to see how make sure she's going to be okay. All right, guys, come on down again. Is Rachel Maddow going to be okay? 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 Moon, Hermit, Queen of Cups, that's good. Nine of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles. Okay. I think, sorry guys, I think what she's doing is just being precautionary. That's my vibe. Because once more the mood card has turned up again. So for anybody that's learning tarot or reading tarot, when you're doing successive readings about something and a card comes up again, like take notice. It's saying something. So what I'm getting right now, is she going to be okay? Above her is this really murky energy from you know who and the administration. I think they're trying to dig up any dirt on her at all, whatever they can do to discredit her. I think that's what they want to do. Um, so I think Hermit card, I think she's just going to keep a low profile for the time being. But you can see that she's still got that light, okay, with the Hermit card in this way that this Hermit card has been represented. So I'm using the Astro Matrix Tarot. But I think she's going to be shining her light, but I don't know if it's going to be so much from mainstream, because usually here with the Queen of Cups. So interesting, I had the King of Cups before. So this is her. So she's feeling really, really, really emotional about what's going on. But the thing with the way that this card's been represented in this deck, if you go back to the original Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the Queen of Cups is the only cup card where the cup is closed. Here it's open. So I think that she's still going to be shining her light and shining her message. It's almost like, and I think probably this is part of the book tour. This book tour is going to be her way of getting this information out and in a way shining the light away from the mainstream, because she's very aware of what's going on around her, and she's very aware of the dark energy in the USA right now as well. So she's going to combat that by, she might be doing some podcasts or she might be doing some other things, but for the time being, she's going to be supporting her book tour and everything else. I mean, she's got a wealth of information and she's going to be fine financially. She doesn't actually have to work full time. She doesn't have to work, she's made a good life. She's made through all her hard work. She's going to be very comfortable with no matter what she does. So that's fine. I'm not getting anything. And I want to say here too, like I'm not getting anything about incarceration or anything about prison or nothing like that. Like I'm not getting that vibe. And these cards didn't turn up. So I'm kind of relieved about that. But I think for the time being, she's just gonna stay out of the limelight for the time being. it's almost like she, with the Five of Pentacles, it's almost like there's a loss there, and it's our loss that she's going to be um, away from the mainstream. Like she's going to be away from MSNBC on a Monday to Friday basis. But I think she's a clever girl, clever lady. I think she's just thinking that the most effective thing that she can do right now is to shine her light and get on with this book tour. So I do think that the message will keep coming out, but she's sitting pretty. She's going to be okay. So that's what I'm getting for Rachel. It's just that when I heard the news that she was going to be leaving MSNBC or at least cutting down her time there, I was just a bit concerned about that. I did a reading on MSNBC a while ago, maybe a few months ago, and the vibe I was getting, and it could change now, but the vibe I was getting is that they might be becoming more of a YouTube-based thing, or they might be at least branching out into those other areas. And if that's the case, with the Hermit card, I put all the cards back into the deck. But actually, I'll just grab that Hermit card again. 2 seconds, guys. I'm just going to put you on pause. Because I think, too, like I said, I think this is precautionary that she's kind of stepping out of the limelight. But I feel, and once again, YouTube entertainment only, but a tarot reader from Australia. If she was really concerned or worried about it, I don't think she would be going on a book tour or even writing a book. That's good news. So, as I said, I think she's aware of the dark energies around her, and I think that she's thinking the best way that she can move her head forward is to, like I said, the I'm going to sneeze, guys. 2 seconds. Yeah, like I said, the lid is off the cup now, and I think this is her book, and she's just going to do a book tour, and rather than appearing on mainstream TV, she's going to go to these book events. And I think, like I said, I think there'll be podcasts, and I think there'll be other ways that she can reach the people as well. And good luck to her. So I think she's going to be okay, but it's just a change. So I just wanted to talk about that because I have a lot of respect for Rachel Maddow, and I think she's doing a great job. And yeah, good luck to her, and go for it, Rachel. Just yeah, enjoy. If you need to take a break away from the craziness, do it. I think. The only other thing which I wanted to talk about as well was the Australian election. So Libby did a reading on that on her channel, a good reading. So basically, I agree with everything that Libby was saying. She spoke about. So we have in Australia, we have two major parties. We have the Liberals. So the Liberals in Australia, they're conservative, and Labor are like your Dems. And then we've got a whole heap of independents. We've got the Greens, and we've got just a whole heap of different people. And I have to choose my words carefully here. But just say we have some colourful people in politics. And I'll probably have a look at that election, hopefully sometime during the week. The election, I believe, is this Saturday. So it's Saturday, it's Friday now, so it's tomorrow week. I've already voted, so I voted early because I'm never sure what I'm going to be doing with work. So you just never know. I've already voted, and it's easy. Like you just lob up and you just sign your thing, and there was a small queue because I didn't have as many polling booths as possible, but I'm sure that they would increase those numbers of the polling booths. Maybe you had to wait for maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, if that. That's a long time to wait in Australia. Like we just our elections are fairly low key. Well, they're not low key. I just tend to ignore them all. So we already have designated leaders of the main parties. All our parties have got designated leaders. So we don't go through that process of getting a new leader. We've already got them. And I guess that's chosen by the parties during the time. And I mean, Australian politics can be very tumultuous, don't get me wrong, and it's not perfect. But we just have a different system to the States. And I kind of prefer it because I do have very strong political views, but um, it's easy to kind of switch it off. Like if you just don't watch the media and if you just keep away from it, it's not like it's that in your face. So I've already voted. Dare I say, I probably voted along the line something similar to Libby. I'm not sure what the other Australian readers are doing with regards to that, but that's for them to talk about on their channels or disclose whatever they want to disclose. That's not my place to talk about them in that way. But yeah, we'll wait and see what happens. And I'm aiming to do a reading on that this week. And I know that the Canadian elections are coming up soon as well. So good luck, Canada. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to sign off for the time being. And I hope you guys are well. And thank you for listening. Okay. Bye for now. Bye.